Hi again, everyone. I'm back. I'm on page 28 now, showing some examples for how to interpret changes in the sine and cosine equation, the equation for sine and cosine, and how they get translated, how they transfer to an actual graph. So let's look on page 28. There's a summary in words here, which you can read in a moment. But what I'd like to do together now is go over these two equations and talk about the amplitude, period, phase shifts, which is just a fancy word for horizontal shifts, and any transformations relative to that graph. Okay, so first I look at this graph, at the equation. Does this have is A negative? If A is negative, there's a reflection, like in every other function that we've talked about. There is not a reflection here. Now, the amplitude, how high does the curve go? How many units above the axis does the curve go? It goes 3 units because A is 3. Now, for period, I have to do a little bit of work down here. For the period, I first need to factor out from y equals 3 sine 3x minus pi over 6 plus 4. The first thing I have to do is factor out b. So I leave a alone, and I come down here and I factor out a 3. Well, I'm dividing everything by 3. So easy enough, 3x just comes to x. Now for pi over 6, what I'm doing, a little bit of work over here in the margin, is I'm taking pi over 6 and I'm dividing it by 3. Well, you know the keep, change, flip idea. So, which is, you're so good at it from all of the work in the unit circle. So I'm taking pi over 6. I'm going to keep the first, change the division to multiplication, and then flip the 3 to be 1/3. So now what I'm looking at here is x minus pi over 18. And then plus 4. Okay, now I have a b value of 3. And what I'm going to do is find the period by taking 2 pi over 3. And when I do that, well, the period is just 2 pi over 3. That means between 0 and 2 pi over 3, I'm going to see one full curve of this sine function. Now, horizontal phase shifts means how is this graph shifting to the left or to the right? Well, if I look at my equation here, I'm going to be shifting to the, you guessed it, to the right, because I see subtraction, to the right by pi over 18. Don't worry about that. We'll get to it. Now, we'll talk about the vertical translation. Well, that's here. I am going up 4 units. Okay, we'll do the next example in the next video.